Hi there, my name's Aaron Short and welcome to my YouTube channel and another episode of Acoustic Guitar Pickups. Let's go. So this was a kind of major release in 2023, the LR Baggs HiFi pickup system. This got me very excited because, as you know if you watch these videos, I really like the Baggs Anthem, but I've always had a thing about putting the undersaddle in the guitar. I say it again, does it make a difference? I still don't know, but if we can eradicate that completely, then that's surely the best solution. So LR Baggs brought out a brand new pickup system along the lines of their I-beam, in that there's nothing under the saddle. It's a soundboard transducer. I've reviewed many soundboard transducers in this series, and by the way, the playlist is available for you to watch at your own leisure. But for me, they always sound pretty similar. They can sound better than under saddle, but they can sound muddy sometimes. They can still sound a bit harsh sometimes. It really depends how the preamp is voiced. And the great thing with this system is it does have a preamp on board. So what we have is two sensors under the top here inside the guitar. It uses tape and not glue. That's the first plus for me. A non-invasive system you can install to any guitar, because some guitars don't have removable saddles. They're glued in. Well, they're removable, but they're glued in. So you haven't got to touch your saddle. You haven't got to modify your saddle. You haven't got to put anything under the saddle. You glue these two sensors to the soundboard inside the guitar, and they provide a jig to help you with this as well. You obviously have your end pin. That's the only real modification you have to make. You've got to drill that hole, standard jack. And then you have these controls here. You've got volume and tone. The tone has an indent. Personally, I don't like sound hole controls, but I'm very happy that Baggs have gone with this new design. It looks cool. So you can barely see it in the guitar, where the Anthem was kind of yellow and you could really see it. This is very subtle. And you can even install these further back if you don't use them, so you don't see anything at all. And you can also then use a sound hole plug as well. So you can see where I'm going with this. It's ticking all the boxes for me on paper. And this is what I thought when I heard about this system. It's ticking every box on paper. It does have a battery, but again, that ticks a box for me. It means it's active, so you don't have to worry about impedance and preamps and things like that. It's basically a soundboard transducer that's active. No worries about those things I just mentioned. No adjustment to the saddle. No glue. Easy to remove if you don't like it. Controls that are very subtle, or you can mount them further back. I would like the ability to remove the controls completely, but we don't have that option. If you cut them off, then it will be wide open, so you'll probably have too much tone. If you use the tone on 100% and the volume on 100%, you could technically cut them off, because that's how it will be. But that's not suggested. But that's something I'd like to see maybe in a future version, the ability to remove the controls, and a few other things that I'll mention later on in the video in my summary. This is why I and many others were so excited. A product we can just go out and buy in the guitar store. And by the way, I'll put all my product links below. If you want to buy one of these, you can use the links below and check out more information about it. I also weighed the system before it's installed, and it's very light. It's the same weight as the Anthem SL. So it's very light. One of the lightest active systems I've weighed. Just add a few ounces to your guitar. I know a lot of people like that as well. If you're interested how this compares to the Anthem and the K&K, I know people are, because they've asked me constantly about it. I did make that comparison video using the same guitar on my channel, so check that out later on if you're interested in comparing the actual sounds. But right now, let's see what this sounds like in this guitar. This is a Martin OM28 from 2023. I'll do the same as always, so you can compare it to other pickups in my series. I'll play you the guitar through the mic in the room. Remember, it's a Neumann mic. It's not a pickup. It's going to sound much better than a pickup, most likely. And then I'll run through what the guitar sounds like direct, with no mic from the room in there, just the guitar itself. Please use headphones if you've got them, or studio monitors. And I'll also show you the different tone settings as well in this video. At the end, I'll give you my thoughts based on my real-world experience at some gigs. So without further ado, let's hear this thing through the microphone in the room. Okay, so I'm going to play that again. The pickup is at full volume and it's on the indent. It's in the middle on the tone control. So I'll do it with that, and then at the end, I will then play you through some different tone settings so you can hear what it sounds like. But this is the tone flat and the volume flat, no EQ. Obviously, if you're going to use this at a gig, you're probably going to process it like all pickup systems. But this is the pickup straight into my interface, no processing, just so you can get an idea what it will sound like flat in case you're using in-ears or something like that. It sounds really full in the bass, really actually boomy. But if you listen to the original recording I did with the microphone, that is what this guitar sounds like. This is an OM, a smaller body guitar, but it's an interesting OM. It has a lot of low energy in the low end acoustically, and the pickup is picking that up. So to be fair to the pickup, it's representing the tonality of the guitar very well. But I find that an excessive amount of low end, it's very woofy, it's too much. So remember, you can't really take that out with this system. You have to use an external EQ. I have used external EQ with the pickup. I did have some feedback with it, and I think it was probably linked to that. The fact that it's got all that low energy there means I had to use a single notch filter. Now that's fine, because a single notch filter is on most mixers and pedals. Some other transducer pickups, like the K&K, I've had to use multiple EQ bands and notches to correct it. With this, I just had to take out that point that's the most energetic, and you can hear that if you sit in front of your speaker and tap on the top, you'll hear it feedback. You can figure out what note it is and notch that out. So it's not really a problem, but that's good and bad there. It's picking up all that boom and woof that's in the guitar. It is picking it up. Now that's either a good thing or a bad thing. I'll let you decide. Let me now go through the tone control starting at 0, and I'll gradually increase it so you can hear the differences that it makes. And finally, body percussive sounds, again with the tone control back at neutral. So as you can hear, it's pretty impressive. I'm really happy that Bags did this. And like I said earlier in the video, when I heard that LR Bags were going to be doing a pickup like this, I got incredibly excited. But let me cut to the chase and give you some afterthoughts I've had as well, because I do have a lot of thoughts on this system, because it is the direction I want to see pickups go in. I want to be able to get a Martin like this, or a Gibson or whatever, a Taylor, with no pickup system, and install something like this with no modifications to the guitar, apart from drilling out the end pin. And by the way, Martin, you should drill out your end pins for us so we haven't got to do it ourselves. But that's another video. I really am excited the way they're going. And people ask me straight away, well, is it better than the Anthem? Is it better? Everyone always asks me that when something new comes out and I get a chance to look at it and review it and make a video about it. Of course, that's the question we ask. I ask the same questions of people too. Should I buy it, basically? Well, here's my honest thoughts about it. I'm a long-term fan of the Anthem. The Anthem SL is probably my favorite aftermarket pickup. Yes, I have a thing about putting that element under my saddle. I still don't know if it makes a difference. In my mind, it does, and therefore it does make a difference. This eradicates that, and it's made by the same company. So I was hopeful that I would like it as much. But in reality, I knew that I wouldn't. And here's why. The Anthem uses the undersaddle and the microphone. It has the crossover. Check out my video on the Anthem to learn about that. That will always make an awesome sound. Any pickup with a mic in it is always going to have the edge, in my opinion, because the mic gathers a lot of the natural information that no piezo pickup can gather. I always have secret hopes. I tried all the soundboard transducer pickups, thinking that one would find a way around that and would sound like a microphone. Well, here's the news. It doesn't. No pickup sounds like a microphone. I say that over and over again. I've learned that the hard way. We know that's the case. I always knew this wouldn't be a contender against the Anthem. I was hoping it would be close enough that it would make me happy. Now, it does sound really good. There's just a few things with it. Like, I definitely need an external EQ, but this is based on this guitar. Now, I did try this in 2 guitars. The other one was a Dreadnought. But in my experience, both of those guitars in the same conditions in this room and at my shows, compared to my other pickup systems like the Cole Clark behind me, and not that guitar because there's no sound hole, but my other Cole Clark, it did feedback at my regular volumes. On that resonant peak, again, the resonant peak is usually a C sharp, a D. You hear it when you tap on the top of your guitar. You can try it at home. It's a fun experiment. Just make sure the neighbors are not asleep when you do it. But all you need is a notch filter. And I have a unique case in that I don't carry a mixer with me. I carry a pedal with me that does have a notch built in, but sometimes I want to plug straight in and just play. So if you always gig with a mixer and a pedal board, as you probably should do, this will be no problem. Just install it. If there is feedback in your guitar, then notch that frequency out and you're done. You're good forever. I don't have that luxury. I'm running around all the time doing different things. I would like the notch to be in the pickup. If I could change anything about this system, it would be that it'd have a set and forget notch control that you adjust with a mini screwdriver and you're done. Then I can gig with this anywhere. I still don't think that it sounds as good as the Anthem though, because it's just a single source pickup, and that's the thing. I do think you should consider this pickup. I'm going on a rant here which I don't normally do in these videos, but this is such a hot topic and I've had so many questions about it. If you're interested in the pickup, you should try it, because if you buy it from someone like Sweetwater and you really don't like it, you can return it for a refund because it's non-destructive, non-invasive. So definitely try it. And I waited deliberately to make this video to see what my friends and colleagues and people on forums said about it. No one has told me there's feedback, but again, I base these videos on my experience, not theirs, and I do have feedback. But they're all happy with it. I mean, I think people have told me that they still like the Anthem, but this is a great option if you can't use an Anthem or you don't want to use an Anthem. This is a great option. This is exciting. And here's the thing. When they announced this, LR Baggs also said there will be eventually a version with the microphone as well. So there you go. LR Baggs said that themselves. I can't remember where it was, but they definitely did. And what that means is if this had the microphone as well to gather that extra high-end information, and if they add a notch to it, or if they figure out a way to eliminate all feedback, which of course is impossible, so I really want that notch control included. If they do those 2 things, okay, it'll cost a bit more money, but if they do those 2 things, this could be a really, really exciting pickup, and that's what I need. I'm too used to the Anthem. I like the Anthem. I like my Cole Clark 3-way system. I need a dual source. If they can make the HiFi a dual source, I definitely want to try it, and I think that'll be really, really exciting. And so one more thing, there's still K&K fans out there. I'm calling this the K&K for the masses. I don't think this kills the K&K for that reason. Some people don't want stuff in their guitar, and the K&K gives you just that. But I personally just never could get on with it. I just struggled and struggled and struggled. I did not struggle with this. I did not struggle with this just with that notch control. Once I had a notch control on the floor, and I used the Baggs Venue DI. That's a good option, by the way. It's got that notch there and some EQ. Once I did that, I was good to go. And you notice on the tone control, when it's on full tone, it is a bit brittle. I was using it on full tone, but that's because there's so much low end in the guitar. Really, I would keep that tone control down around halfway and use an external EQ to take out any woofiness and muddiness that's in that guitar itself. Maybe your guitar doesn't have it. This is why it's so hard to recommend pickups to people. Your guitar might respond perfectly to this pickup. It might be perfectly balanced and sound excellent, but most guitars need some kind of EQ, whether it's adding treble or taking away treble or adding bass or subtracting bass. And on this guitar, the external EQ does help, but it's so much easier to set that up than it is on some of the other soundboard transducer pickups like the K&K. And price-wise, yes, it's more than the K&K, but you get the preamp. You haven't got to go out and buy an external preamp. I mean, like I just said, you can do if you need to. There is a preamp here. If you go to a gig and plug in, it will work well, unlike the K&K, which is passive and may struggle with some systems when you plug straight in. And it has the controls and everything. So this is more affordable than the Anthem, but I'm still a fan of the Anthem over this. But this is great. And what I love is the direction this is going in. This is just the start, I believe. In my opinion, this is the start of a new line of pickups, and that's why I'm excited. I think we will see this develop into an Anthem version and maybe other versions. This is the bare bones of this new approach, and they will grow on it. LR bags will grow on this foundation, and it's really exciting. But as it is, this is what some people will want. Some people don't want the mic. Some people will be happy with this sound. And if they are, that's great. And that's what you should get and save money. So check out the links below. Thanks for watching this extended ending. I want to get all my thoughts out on the video because so many people have asked me about this system. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new here, please subscribe and ring the bell. Check out my other videos on acoustic guitar pickups. I've got well over 20 now. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care and be well. Bye-bye.